What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MA Sports Pod, and we're joined by a very special guest today, NYJ Mike.
How we doing, boys? Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Good. How are you doing? We're doing the schedule series again, and Mike, big Jets fan from his, 15,000 Twitter followers now?
Something like that. We're feeling good. You know, I had to do the blue check mark, but
Oh, man.
had to do it.
Down.
I bowed down. I'll pay Elon some cash every month.
But so we're going to continue on with the schedule series today with the Jets, and I'm really excited for this one. We've been looking forward to this for a while. We've been trying to plan this for, 2 months, man? We can't figure it out, but
So bad.
Here.
Schedule conflicts, yeah.
Yeah. So let's start off. What do you think the Jets' strongest points are this year? What are they best at?
I mean, listen, you have a team last year that was really a quarterback away. Even if you had the same exact team last year, this year, and you add Aaron Rodgers, things are looking great. But, the guys are going to get another year older. You're going to have a healthy Brees. You're going to have a healthy AVT. You have that defense. You have all pros on all three levels, Sauce, Quinnen, and CJ Mosley. It's just, what a complete roster.
That one confused me a little bit, though, honestly. I don't think he should have been all-pro.
Who's CJ?
Yeah, he's kind of slow.
I mean, look, statistically, he had a very nice year. The Jets have the fourth defense. He's anchoring the team. I thought, and he was a second-team All-Pro. If he was first team, maybe it's a little bit much, but I'm happy that CJ really turned around his Jets career.
He did.
From COVID when he sat out the season, and there's that picture of him sitting in Applebee's and he's pissing off all the Jet fans. To now, he really turned around his stock with the Jets.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I think of him, I have a bad memory because I think of the Lions game.
Oh, that game sucked.
Coverage, and I can't ease up on him because of that. And
what's obnoxious is the Jets on 4th and 1 last year would never stack the box. They would just play their normal 4-man front, and then teams would just QB sneak up the middle. And on that play in the Lions game, they put every person in the box, and then the Lions did the play action and threw a 50-yard touchdown. So
yeah,
I hope Salah's a little bit more flexible this year with his situational play calling. That's just one of the things. I like Salah a lot, but I feel like they just play their 4-man front every single play, which is fine. It works most of the time, but you have to, play situational football, but we'll see.
Exactly. Someone who wasn't good at that was Greg Williams, but I'm
blitz on
positive here. Yeah. Let's be positive here. All right. So starting off from our previous videos, we have them at 6-1, beating the Cowboys, losing to the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, which hurts, but then beating the Broncos, beating Chargers, beating Raiders, and beating Texans and Browns. So kind of just taking care of the teams that they should take care of. But any real test has kind of just been the Chiefs so far.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers game is going to be tough, but
true. Yes.
The Broncos game is going to be a fiery affair now, which is kind of annoying, but I'm sure
it shouldn't be, but Sean Payton, asshole.
The first 6 weeks for the Jets are tough, and then you're like, all right, the Broncos game should be not easy, especially because you have to go to the West Coast and play against a Hall of Fame coach and quarterback. But now that game's got to be circled too. So your first 6 weeks are all very, very, fiery, important games. Even the Patriots. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So for week 1, Monday Night Football. What do you think, Michael?
Well, originally I did say the Jets, but I think Buffalo actually kills you guys.
Really?
Yeah. I said the Jets
it's
before,
at home.
Yeah, I don't care. I think Buffalo kills you guys. You guys are not settled in yet. I think Buffalo, does a number on you guys.
Okay. What do you got, Mike?
I mean, I don't think it's crazy if the Jets lose that game at all. I'm going to pick the Jets to win. You're in the throwback. It's 9/11. Rodgers going to run out of the tunnel.
Oh,
the stadium's going to explode. It's going to be ridiculous. I think the Jets win that game. But I think the Bills are so underrated, especially after the last few years. The Bills have been the top 5 in offense and defense the last 3 years, which no one talks about. Sean McDermott somehow gets some shit.
But it
I mean,
scares me that it scares me that people are like, "Oh, the Jets division this year," and everyone's just marking it off, and no one's talking about the Bills. And
the
I don't
Bills
know.
are so good, dude. And also,
know.
they would have maybe won the Super Bowl if they don't lose that game against the Chiefs with that crazy divisional round game. Which what are they going to do? Like, it's just a crazy game. So it's
Yeah.
not like they choke in the playoffs. I don't know that. I think the Jets are going to win that game. I think they'll lose in Buffalo later. But I'll pick the Jets to win Week 1.
Okay. I have the Bills. I think it could be shaky, and I think it's such a toss up. And
yeah, dude, if you lose
whatever,
if you lose 31-28 to the Bills Week 1, what are you going to do? You tip your hat, tip
yeah,
your helmet.
it'll be a good game. The thing that I think about the Bills is that I think other quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, they rise their play when they get to the playoffs. I think Josh Allen just kind of stays the same.
I know, but in fairness, look at that Chiefs game. What is he supposed to do? Do like 5 touchdowns and 3 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes, and they lose that game. They rose his game. It just and then you have a guy like Eli who fucking, and I don't know if I can curse, sorry, but Eli, the Giants win 17-14. Now he has to go to the Hall of Fame because his defense carried him twice. Asshole.
What do you think about that? He's your typical Giants fan.
We still got more rings.
Dude, like, Eli is so.
No,
I like Eli, and he's a good player. But dude is 500 for his career. He was a top 10 quarterback maybe for 1 or 2 seasons of his career, and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame because of his stupid defense. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers lost the championship game 4 times, the NFC Championship game. His team averaged over 30 points. Eli wins the Super Bowl because stupid David Tyree makes a ridiculous catch, and that asshole Asante Samuel dropped the ball, and now he has to go to the Hall of Fame. Ridiculous. Wes Welker. Yeah, the Patriots make every ridiculous play except when they play the Giants in the fucking Super Bowl. Give me a break.
Him for getting 2 rings. From Tom Brady getting 2 rings.
Yeah, it is, and he's always had interceptions, but like
Eli's very, very good, and I actually like him. But as a Hall of Famer, give me a break. There's 10 other quarterbacks better than him in his own era.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
Rivers is a better quarterback than Eli, but of course didn't win anything.
Yeah. Well, because there were better quarterbacks than Rivers too. You always had Manning and Brady,
and Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is his era. There shouldn't be Drew Brees. There's fucking 6, 7 other guys better than him every single year, and then there's some guys that are better than him inter-year. So Matt Ryan.
But it's a team sport, and he did his job in the playoffs.
He did it. He was clutch.
Yeah, all right. Yes, Week 3, Patriots, Jets. Jets at home. I can't not give this to the Jets. I think.
So we had the Jets winning against the Cowboys.
Yes, Jets winning away against.
Okay. That's right. I actually picked the Jets to lose that game, but if you guys both picked them to win, I'm very high on the Cowboys. Don't understand the hate with them. They win 12 games. Dak throws for like 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns. Not last year, but
that's looking good.
Yeah, I think the hate is mostly just on Dak. It's just that Dak can't throw the ball.
Sucks, bro.
I never understood that. Dak has thrown for as many as 4,900 yards and 37 touchdowns in a season, won 13 games, and probably should have won the Dez caught the ball game against the fucking, what was that, against the Packers in the playoffs.
That was Romo.
Yeah, that wasn't Dak.
I thought that was Dez. I mean, I thought that was
that was Romo. That was Brian. It was Dez, but that was with Romo. That was right before Dak.
Well, then what's the other game Dak lost when they did the QB sneak for no reason at the end of the game?
Oh, that was against the Niners.
Yeah, that was against the Niners. That's not his fault either.
That's bullshit. He beat Brady last year in the playoffs. What was the other game that he lost?
The Cowboys.
They lost to San Fran last year.
No, the Dez game is Dak. That's the first one. Oh, is it?
I was really
2016 is Dak, but whatever. Either way, I had the Jets losing that game.
I think it was because 2016 was probably past the new year, so it was probably the 2015 season.
All right, I know they lost also to the Packers with Romo. Maybe you're right. Either way, I don't know. I think they're going to lose that game, but it's close. It's a toss-up. If you have the Jets winning, that's fine.
Yeah.
So what are we? We're 1-1 now?
1-1, yes. And then New England Jets Week 3. I think the Jets take it. I just think we haven't conquered Belichick in so long, and now we have Rodgers by Week 3. If we're coming off a win Week 2 against the Cowboys, we're going to be clicking. I'm sure Sauce is doing his thing. Quinnen's probably getting to the quarterback, so I have the Jets in this one. What do you got?
I think Mac Jones is going to do good this year, but yeah, I think the Jets are too much for the Pats. Even though
I think they're going to beat the shit out of them. Fuck that stupid organization.
I don't know, beat
but-
the shit out of.
No,
But
I
you
do.
know what's funny is what we kind of talked about before. Everyone's like, "Oh, easy games for the Jets. You got the Patriots twice." Like that's our easy game. We have to go play the best coach in the history of the sport twice, and then we have our other easy game is going to Denver and playing Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. Like the AFC is just loaded. But I do think the Jets are going to beat them week 3.
Yeah, and I do think they're actually better than people think they are this year. And Mac Jones with Bill O'Brien is going to be kind of nice. I like that.
They're just gonna do everything right. Special teams, no mistakes. You know, they're not going to turn the ball over unless Jacoby Myers comes back to the Patriots and throws the ball backwards. But
Yeah, that might be the illegal gambling allegations. Have you heard about that?
no, they thought that he threw the game.
Yeah, just that
Whoa.
there's
I
a
don't
big
think so.
there's a big NFL ring going on with involved in Vegas gambling. And
I don't know that one. I mean, it's really it's one of the worst plays in the history of all sports because that literally eliminated the Patriots from the playoffs. That game. So not at the time, but they won 8 and 9, and they would have made the playoffs if they won that game. That is, and it's way worse than the Buffalo Bowl. Nobody talks about it.
yeah, but exactly, no, you don't really hear it all that much. It's crazy.
Yeah. Worst play ever.
All right,
Just
So-
a 2-1, baby. Come on.
yeah, 2-1. Week 4 here. We have the loss of the Chiefs, but what do you think about this game? Give us the pros and cons.
Yeah, look, I'm not as scared of the Chiefs as I am of some of the other teams in the AFC. I think the Jets are going to win this game. I'm fine with having this as a loss because, of like this game, the Eagles game. Like they're going to lose some of these games. Not
Yeah,
just good teams, but I don't think the Chiefs roster is that. Like they were the first team last year to win the Super Bowl with their quarterback making X amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously, for somehow covered Travis Kelce. What else did they, it's not like their offense is loaded. They have a solid offensive line, but the defense is not great. I don't know. They don't scare me so much. Like, I'm more scared of the Bills. I'm more scared sometimes of the Ravens with Lamar Jackson being a fucking maniac.
We're more scared
Joe
of the
Burrow
Bengals,
and the
honestly.
Bengals. They have that's some vicious teams. What if Trevor Lawrence makes a crazy? Now they have
the Jags.
freaking Calvin Ridley. So there's going to be some tough games, but
we have the Jags good.
But we kind of agree with you. We put the Chiefs at 10-7 this year. We just think they're not as good as last year. And Mahomes can only do so much. He is like a top quarterback, and we're not saying they're going to be bad, but they're definitely not as good as they were these past couple of years.
Week 4, you still Jets.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm fine with that being a loss. That's a very fair
and 5
Mahomes.
Broncos. All right.
Yeah. So
you got to win that game. Got to win that game now. I mean,
you have to with the media.
If you lose, though, that's rough. But
it is rough if we lost.
Week 6, you lose to the Eagles. The Eagles are the most complete roster in the NFL.
Eagles. That's that. I didn't like. They had 70 sacks last year. It's a crazy number. Who'd they lose? They lost one of their pass rushers.
Oh my god.
They re-signed Hargrave. I think stayed.
Was he the old one? Did they?
No, they didn't lose.
No.
Cox is almost on the Jets. No, they got. I thought Hassan Reddick left, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, he stayed. He stayed. Yeah.
But I still think the Eagles beat you guys.
I think the Eagles win just because their defensive line matches up with our offensive line.
And Jalen Hurts, good. Jalen Hurts, that offense is going to be gross.
Yeah, but I think we can contain the offense a little bit. I think it's more of a problem of they have the better defensive front against our offensive front because Rodgers is older and he has good pocket mobility, but I don't know if he's going to be able to escape that defensive line over and over again. I just think they're going to get to us too much. So I have the Eagles.
I think Swift.
I think that's fair. I mean, I think the Jets do match up well against teams like the Eagles that have 2 really good wide receivers.
Yeah.
You could just play Sauce and Reed, but I'm sure they're still going to have trouble with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I think the Eagles win that game.
I think they're not.
But we'll see. You're right. The Jets' offensive line is going to be a big storyline.
Yeah.
If that thing can walk around and be a human being and play sports would be nice.
Dude, he could be so good too if he could just stay healthy.
Yeah, at this point, there's no reason to trade him. What are you going to get? Fourth round pick. Like, we need to win a Super Bowl in the next 2-3 years, so that's not going to help enough. I would keep Becton, pray to God that he somehow reaches his potential. He looked good in the 7 plays that he played on the preseason game, but
he did.
Yeah,
But and then he takes himself. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't understand it, but we'll see what happens.
I agree. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game, but I'm not also so sold on Jalen Hurts. I know he was terrific last year, and he was really great in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
But we'll see. We'll see when he doesn't have the greatest roster fucking ever around him. If he's this,
But he kind of does again this year. His roster is insane this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's the same team. It's the same team. Yeah, it's gonna be very good again. But we'll see.
Okay, so we go into week 8, but before that, the bye week 7, going into the bye 3-3. How would the general Jets fan feel about this? Because I wouldn't feel good about this. Just saying, if you told me we're going to go into the bye 3-3, I would be like, what the fuck? But then if
you lost to probably the 3 best teams in football. In this scenario.
Exactly.
So and it depends how you lose. If you lose 28-24 against the Eagles, I'm not going to be like, the team fucking sucks. Like, it's just bullshit, right? It's like if you get the Patriots beat 30-0 and Rodgers is a hamstring and everyone's playing like shit, fine. And then we're like, what the fuck is going on? But if you're 3-3, you lost some close games.
This is why I don't like the high expectations, or I don't love the high expectations, because I don't want to feel 3-3, and no matter what happens, you got the media, you got fans being like, "Oh, this team isn't what we thought it is." Maybe that brings the morale of the locker room down, and then we start playing where it's like, I can't have that again.
No, we can't. We can't. You're right. I can't do it. Yeah. I can't be alive. If the Jets are 1-5, I can't. I physically can't. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, man. So
not this time. Not this time.
So facing the Giants, and I know you're going to pick the Giants, Michael. But honestly, I'm looking at this game, and I don't see any spot on the field that the Giants are better. Maybe offensive line. I'll give you offensive line. Andrew Thomas is one of the best tackles in football, and Evan Neal
got a concussion, but I'm sure he'll be back by week 8.
Oh yeah, he'll be.
But dude, I'm so down on the Giants. I'm going to give you my spiel.
Okay.
So down. This is the thing that bothers me about the Giants offseason. And I like Daniel Jones. I think he's fine. I think he's Chad Pennington-y, a little bit worse at this point, unless he has a nicer career after this. But and Chad is terrific. I love Chad. Yeah. Giants are 9-7 last year with Daniel Jones.
But that's also with no wide receivers.
That's the point. This is my point. What did they do in the offseason to upgrade wide receiver? That is what I don't understand.
Receivers in the draft.
So you draft a guy in the 3rd round, right? You sign a bunch of 3rd or 4th receivers: Cole Beasley, Jamison Crowder, Jeff Smith, Paris Campbell. What are we doing? And so that's my thing. Darren Waller is a terrific ad, but dude's on the wrong side of 30 and hasn't played a full season in 3 years. Saquon, of course, you had to get back. But that's my thing. So Daniel didn't have any receivers last year. Everyone says it. And then they didn't get any receivers. So what, I don't know what the plan is. And they have a bunch of 3 or 4 guys.
But Wanda Robinson's coming back. That's also
injuries. But
right.
Wanda,
they're all Hodgins.
And I agree. I don't think they got better on receivers. We're trying to build the Jets 2018 receiving core with Smith, and that wasn't good. And but really, I think a big issue is the defense. I think you're going to say the defense is awesome, but I don't think.
Why is it awesome? What are they? They have one okay corner, Adoree Jackson. Their linebackers, Okereke was a nice move. They have a very good defensive line. They don't. I mean, if Thibodeau becomes a great pass rusher, that changes things.
It does, but I've just been seeing clips of Cole Beasley tearing apart their defense, and I wouldn't be 35 or 39-year-old Cole Beasley tearing apart your defense. I would see that as a sign of worry.
Cole Beasley's back. They disproved the vaccine, so he's back. Dude, fucking
vaccines do not work.
I don't get it. And again, the Giants had an even point differential last year. They're playing in a dirty conference this year, so maybe they'll have a good record. But I think the Giants are overrated based on last year. I think Dable's very good, but everybody loved Joe Judge the first year when they went 6-10 and almost won their stupid division. Then he sucked the next year. Everyone immediately turned on him. I want to see what happens if the Giants are 6-11 this year and play solid football and lose some close games. If the stupid Giants fan base will turn on him like they usually do with everyone, we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I think they're in love with Dabble, but I agree. I I don't think they're good this year, man. And everyone's overhyping them.
Guys. We actually do.
I can't.
This
How?
game-
How would
this
you?
game-
How would you be like? What are you better at us then?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
it
It's
doesn't
New
matter.
York-
Doesn't matter.
Bro, it's New York and New York. It's gonna be a close game, I think. No matter.
It'll
what.
be close, but I just can't see you like coming on top.
All right. It's fine.
One more note about the game: the Jets have. This is very lucky for the Jets that it's a Giants home game. The Jets have
Away
10
game.
games in MetLife Stadium this year. They played 9 home games in this Giants game. So favorable schedule. The Giants schedule is tough with location geographically. They got to play 7 of their first 10 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and then this game is basically like a half home game. So I don't know. I think the Jets are definitely going to win this game. Of course, they could lose. Anything could happen, but
Any
I
given
don't
Sunday,
like
Angelo.
It is.
given Sunday.
But okay. So Chargers, Jets. We have them taking this one out Monday night.
Surprised I gave this to the Jets.
Should be a good one.
I had the Jets winning a couple of games earlier in the year that we didn't, and I had them losing that game to the Chargers, but I'm fine with that being a win. I mean, just again, like you have Justin Herbert. That team is loaded up also. It's the AFC is just ridiculous, but I'm fine with the win there.
It is. If you can just look at the teams from the AFC and the teams from the NFC, I think you're looking at like 5, besides the Eagles and Niners, you probably have 8 or 9 teams in the AFC better than any other team in the NFC.
I agree with that. Also, I think 9 of the top 10 quarterbacks are in the AFC, unless you want to put Dak in there.
Yeah,
Which, again,
Dak in there. We had an argument with our friend that we had on for our sevens or our Cowboys review. And he said that Dak is a top 10 quarterback over the last 5 years. And I
would agree with that.
We talked about it. I think he's fringe. I think he's right on 10.
That's fair. You're right, because again, you do have to do more. But look at some of these years. He goes 11-5, throws 37 touchdowns, with 4,500 yards and a 104 rating, 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns. He goes 13-3. I don't know what the guy has to do. He's 25 games over 500 in his career. He's thrown 100 more touchdowns and picks. You got to win in the playoffs, but
it is.
Bad.
I think it's just the past couple of years, his interceptions are going up, and he seems like he's declining and regressing.
Last year, he had a weird year. You're right.
Yeah, and over the past 5 seasons, I think you can definitely argue it.
You could argue it. I don't know. We'll see. I think, again, in a weak NFC, this might be the Cowboys' year that people are finally like, everyone every year is like, oh, maybe this time. And now people are giving up on them. But
yeah,
we shall see.
Yes. Season. I'm excited for this season, man. Just one day closer every day. Okay, so then week 10, Raiders win. So now we have them sitting at 7-3. And
we're gonna have Devontae Adams by that point. He's gonna have a revenge game.
Devontae Adams. We're going into Buffalo. It's I don't know, it might be snowing, but at this point in the season,
if it's snowing,
we had them losing to the Bills week 1.
Yeah, I don't.
So I don't think they're gonna get swept. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting swept.
Yeah, but
swept.
No, Aaron Rodgers played in Green Bay his whole career.
One person,
dude. We play in Jersey.
Fine,
it's not.
fine.
We're not in Florida.
Yeah, we're not in Florida.
You guys are gonna get swept.
I don't say that. Especially, I
don't think they're gonna lose 2 to anyone.
I think you guys lose 2.
We don't get swept by anyone in this division. I'll give you the Dolphins one, but I'll give it to you the second time we play them. I'll give it to you when they're home, because I think when we're home, we take the Dolphins down. This is the game after Thanksgiving. It's the Black Friday game.
All right, sure.
We'll see if Tua can even use his fucking arms and limbs at this point. I hope he doesn't get another concussion.
Yeah, but honestly, if it's Mike White, I would probably take the Dolphins.
Dude, Mike White is so goddamn good. I wish he went anywhere else. I wish he went to like Washington so he could start and we could like him.
Yeah, I would love to.
Jets for the Dolphins.
Okay.
We picked beating the Bills.
So beating the Bills, beating the Dolphins. So we are hot right now off the bye.
What are we, 9-3?
Yeah, we have not lost after the bye. 3-3, so 4, 5, 6.
Jets haven't been 9-3 since 2010.
You beat the Cowboys. You beat the
Yeah, the
Texans.
Falcons is a handle business game.
I forgot we play the Falcons. Fuck them. We actually don't match up very well against the Falcons based on last year with our run defense, but what is we Desmond Ritter? Like we're gonna win that game.
Yeah, it's a handle business game, that game.
Yeah.
So
Texans. That's gonna be,
10-3.
it's gonna be harder than you think. The Texans.
I do think it will be harder than I think. I love the Texans this year. I think they're a surprise team.
love.
I
But
feel like I know so much about the Texans because I still follow DJ Bieniemy, who was the Jets beat writer. Now he's covers the Texans.
Okay. He works for the
So I'm
Texans.
seeing, I'm like, dude, why do I know like so many guys on the Texans? I'm like, oh fuck, DJ. That's what it is.
No, they're kind of nice though. They're looking up this year.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like CJ Stroud's like an imbecile based on what everyone said before the draft, which is hilarious. Like he had the worst score ever on that test.
I know. I had him as my top-rated quarterback, though. If you
Yeah.
watch him, I think he reads the field so well, dude.
They said he looks good in practice, and they have those two great tackles. They have Tunsil and what's his face, Titus Howard. I mean, the receivers are pretty gross though. Like if you're the Jets, their Jets are going to do that thing that they do. Rush four guys. You have Sauce and Reed can cover like
Drop
Nico
everything.
Collins and whoever the fuck their other guy is. Yeah, we'll see. So what do we know? 11-3.
So we're
Oh,
10-3
this is nice.
without factoring this Browns game, which we have them winning. So we will be 11.
So-
I picked the Jets to lose the game in Cleveland on Thursday. It's a Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday night.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to be really good too. That's like, dude, the AFC is just loaded. Like even
know.
these teams that are afterthoughts, like the Browns and the Raiders. Like you go play the Raiders with Jimmy G and in Vegas, across the country, they have guys. That's a nerve-wracking game. And then the Browns, man, like, dude, if Deshaun Watson is himself, which nothing happened to him just because he got a lot of hand jobs.
I know.
Like I know he was weird. Like he was weird last year, but now he's not gonna be rusty. You have Nick Chubb, you have Cooper, you have fucking all these crazy guys. Like they're sick offensive line. That's a scary team to play against.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just not on the Deshaun Watson train. I can't get behind him, and it's not because what he's done. I can't get behind him for that, but I can't get behind him because I just don't think he's the same player, honestly. And maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I wanted to see it last year, he had all last year to prepare. He could practice, and
he looked like shit last year. I agree with you. If it's like last year, then it's fine. Then it's not a scary game. But if he somehow, what is last year on the Texans? I think he did 4,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. Like if he does that with this, now you have Nick Chubb and that crazy offensive line.
Oh yeah,
they
gross. But I don't know. I'm never really high on the Browns. You're high on the Browns, right?
Yeah, I like the Browns.
Me too.
I like the Browns, but
Me too.
week 15.
So yeah,
you
week
lose-
15.
you lose to Miami. There's no way you sweep Miami. There's no way. There's
I
no
don't
way
think
you
Miami's
sweep
that
Miami.
good either, but I'll give you the win in Miami.
Yes.
But I don't think they're just because it's divisional. I just don't think Miami's
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty high on the Dolphins. Tua was terrific last. People forget Tua was leading the MVP race at some point last year.
That was a crazy time.
And he finished 25 touchdowns, 8 picks in 12 games. Obviously you have Waddle and Hill, but that defense too, where you have Jordan Wilkins and Jalen Phillips, and now you have Ramsey and Howard and all these guys
and
Javon Holland.
Eli Apple because Jalen.
Well, at this point, you figure it's going to be Ramsey by Christmas. But
Have you did you go over the safety?
Javon Holland is terrific.
Yes, yeah,
That's a good team.
He's really good, dude.
Yeah, they're a little bit top heavy. I don't know if they have as much depth, but they did sign all the old Jets players too. They have Barrios and Robbie Chosen, fucking idiot Anderson, and Mike White.
Yeah, dude, they're trying to build the Jet. I feel like there's so many teams that I've seen that just add so many former Jets. The Panthers last year was one of them.
All the Jets, Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, they just had the most random Jets on their team. Now
He was
it's
actually really good too.
Yeah. All right, week 16 against
This is gonna be a tough
the
game.
Commanders here.
I think you win that game. I'm low on the Commanders this year.
I think
What do you think, Mike?
You have the Commanders?
Yeah.
I actually do. I do like Sam Howell.
Yeah, the Commanders.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you drop this one.
Yeah,
I might be with you.
Yeah, I think the Commanders win this.
For no particular reason, not because they're not a better team, just because they've been riding so high. They drop one against the Dolphins. It's coming down late season. And then, I don't know. I just think they're exceeding expectations at this point. Maybe they get too carried away. But, like, Aaron Rodgers is a good leader. I don't know. I'll give them.
You can lose the game. Look, the Commanders were 500 last year. There's a very, very rugged defense. They have a terrific defensive line. They have some guys. They have McLaurin. It's a losable game. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of Sam Howell to have a good opinion about him.
Mhm.
But if he's out at that point, Jacoby Brissett is very solid and annoying to play against. He's just going to do 1,000 tight end screens and play action. And I don't know. I think they're probably going to win that game on paper, but you could definitely pick a loss to a normal NFL team.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like they're the Cardinals. Did you see the Cardinals JV?
Oh, I saw their practice. It was horrible.
Yeah, dude. They might go 0-18, 0-17.
Remember they were 10-0 a couple years ago, and then they just fell apart since then. Strange.
I don't know. It's
the
weird.
Steelers.
Yeah, kind of like the Steelers. So the Browns one, we went over this. We don't have to talk about that, but we're going to give it to the Jets. Week 18, we're looking at 11-5, which is, I love this. I think any Jets fan loves this.
You dropped to the Pats though, week 18.
You think we dropped to the Pats?
I think so.
I think it was the year you sweep the Pats, especially if that game means something. It probably will mean something for us, and it probably will not mean something for them, just based on the way that the season is supposed to go. I would take the Jets in a must-win game. You know Belichick is going to want to spoil whatever the Jets have going on, so it's not going to be any kind of cakewalk game, but important Week 18 game, Rodgers. I'm going to take the Jets to win that game.
Okay, I'm God, this is not going to look good for us going into the playoffs. I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah.
I just think Mac Jones is going to surprise a lot of people. And we've talked about this, me and you, Mike. Like, I'm a big Mac Jones guy. And I just think,
but I think he's going to have a better year.
Dude, their defense is still good. People are sleeping on them so hard. They're going to have a late surge.
11-6.
I think they'll be in the picture at this point. And if we're 11-5, we can afford to lose it. I don't know if they could afford to lose it, though. And Belichick's going to have them firing on all cylinders.
11-6, but we also have you beating the Cowboys at home week 2. Go down. Oh. We have you beating the Chargers. We have you beating the Bills.
Yeah,
twice.
We were pretty generous with our schedule. 11-6 is not like a crazy expectation for this team.
No, I think most people have like 12-5, even 13-4.
Yeah, but
we even gave up the game to the Commanders.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm just saying it could go towards like 10-8.
No,
10-8,
I don't. I think this is the floor. I don't think it's less than 11 wins.
Okay.
Based on the schedule, look, it makes a lot of sense. Anything could happen, assuming full health.
Well, this
is like no major injuries. Anything crazy happens.
Yeah,
I think the Jets should win 11-12 games this year. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, this is it, and it's like way too early predictions here. These are kind of all a shot in the dark, but I do think this is very reasonable. We could have had them higher.
You could definitely lose that game. So.
The Giants.
You can't lose that game. No,
I'm just saying you could, but
you could lose any game. Any team could win any game, but
never gonna let you hear the end of it.
Yeah. So we have them 6-6 versus winning record teams, which is 500, but 5-0 against the losing record team. So taking care of business.
Yeah, and honestly, the Jets will probably be favored in every game, but maybe.
The Bills,
the Bills, Chiefs, Eagles,
and
then if you go on the road to a tough team, but I probably you'll be favored in almost every game this season, which is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, so 11-6, and that's gonna wrap up our Jets video. But I'm excited for this season, man. I can't wait. Hopefully,
boys.
Playoffs.
Yep.
Well, thanks for having me on. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope the Giants go 0-17.
Yeah.
I think they 5-12, but I don't know. We'll see that in our Giants video.
Yeah, hopefully it's 6-11, so they have a worse draft pick.
All right,
boys.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.